So, I take my dad's ashes up to Glacier National Park every year. I lived in Colorado when the story happened, and I was headed south through Idaho after I had visited Montana. My car broke down in Salmon, Idaho, and a really nice man helped me out. I was headed through the mountains to Boise to visit a friend. It was about a 5 hour drive before I entered the truly mountainous section of Idaho. I saw a hot spring on the side of this 2-lane highway along the Salmon River. I decided to take a dip after the stress of having my car breaking down. The hot spring had a bathhouse up at the top near the road, and a wheelchair ramp that went down to the area near the springs, where they were on the other side of the river. People had created little bath-shaped sections in the river that were separated by river stones. Actually, you could sit in a spot that was shaped like a hot tub, so that it held the water from the hot springs while the river rushed over it. I got out my car and headed down the hot spring. I took my dog with me. It was twilight. About every half hour, a car passed by. Knowing that I was alone essentially, I took my top off. I was sitting in the hot spring and actually took a photo of a car approaching. The car pulled up next to mine, in front of the bathhouse. It was a truck with 3 men in it. Seamlessly, one of the men got out of the driver's side, and 2 men got out of the passenger side. They moved without qualms, and were covered in heavy black gear. They looked like hunters. I couldn't see the expressions on their face. The driver headed down the wheelchair ramp towards me, not hesitating. He took big long strides. I recognised that there was danger. The 2 passengers from the other side of the car headed down towards a steep bank along the wheelchair ramp, taking a shortcut. I was stuck in between both parties. Hastening, I hid and dressed myself under the water while my dog growled. He never growls. I've only ever heard him growl twice all my life, and this was the second time. The driver kept on walking towards me. He walked out onto the rocks into the river, continuously walking towards me even though he was covered in heavy gear that could get him waterlogged if he fell in the river. The other 2 passengers from the side of the car were also walking out on the rocks, directly in front of me. The driver got so close that I had to grab my dog before he lashed out at the driver. I was freaking out. The man was walking out onto the stones so that he could reach me. He was not hesitating. I couldn't see his face. I grabbed my phone, my keys, my clothes. I dragged my dog in between the 2 parties, my heart in ears. The driver would not stop. He turned around very quickly, making an arc, coming for me still. He was still taking big strides. The passengers were walking towards me as well. I was trapped in between them. I ran up the bank, dragging my dog pretty much by his collar all the way into my car. The only way that I could get into my car without them grabbing me was by throwing my dog into the back and lunging myself into the passenger side door of my car. I threw my keys into the ignition and turned them when the men were walking up between my car and their car. I happened to hit the lock button on the door right when they walked up. Before anything else happened, or before I saw their faces, I ended up throwing myself into the driver's seat and reversing my car and hightailing it out of there. I drove to about 20 minutes down the road. I crossed the river on a bridge and hid my car behind a bank near the other campers. It was well hidden from the main road. The campers were looking at me and wondering what was going on. I sat, I waited. Another 10 minutes passed by, and lo and behold, the truck drove by. The hunters were looking for me. I managed to wait another half an hour, and then drove up to the mountains, over to Boise and into safety. This is by far the creepiest and spookiest experience that I've ever had. This happened at the school I went in the Philippines, which was a local Catholic one, but not that kind of strict. To describe where it happened, my classroom that time was at the end of a hallway located at the first floor. It was also across our mini library, where our kind librarian sits behind the door. Besides that library were bathrooms for girls and boys. The girls' bathroom is bigger with 3 cubicles inside of it. The boys' one was just an entire bathroom without a cubicle. It's way back in 2003. I was in 3rd grade. It happened during those summery times. 2, 3 o'clock on an afternoon. We had an ongoing class at the time in that classroom when I excused myself to go to the bathroom. When I walked across the hallway and reached the girls' bathroom, just a brief description of how the bathroom looked like. When you enter, a big dirty scratchy mirror on the wall will welcome you. Beneath it was a clogged and dirty sink. Beside the sink were cubicles, 3 of them, made of soft aluminium material. The lock of the doors were broken. This is an important detail of the cubicle. So, when I entered the bathroom, I was the only one in the area. No other students inside the boys' bathroom or the other cubicles. All the doors of the cubicles were wide open. I am the usual scaredy cat girl, so I went inside the first cubicle. Since the locks were broken, I just held the door while peeing, so if anyone entered, they would know I was in there. I was finishing my business. A sudden gush of wind entered the bathroom and I felt someone, a presence, enter the bathroom. I waited for that someone to enter one of the cubicles, but nothing happened. I was clueless, and I didn't think it was a ghost at first. But I heard the faucet in the third cubicle opened and water was flowing. I, without thinking too much, peeped below the cubicles. There was no one, no feet, nothing, just water flowing. I freaked out too much, so I hurriedly fixed my uniform, and when I was trying to open the door, it wouldn't budge open. Remember, the lock was broken, so just a little touch will help it open, but it was not moving. I was so hysterical that I was punching the door so much that it had dents in it. I was screaming, crying, and really scared. I tried kicking the door, but it just won't move. I screamed louder. My throat was getting sore until my teacher and the librarian hurriedly went to me. They opened the door, mind you, without any force. I was dumbfounded, and they asked me what happened, and I told them everything. They just stared at each other and gave me a faint but worried laugh and helped me get back to class. It was the scariest feeling I ever felt because I felt helpless. I remember stories of other students seeing ghosts and such in school. Some say that the school was initially a rice plain where salvaged bodies were usually thrown. So I guess that can explain it all if it's true. 18 years have passed, and that memory is still clear as glass. I hope that will never happen to me again. I have a few stories left, but nothing beats this one. Hey, I'm Frankie Goss. Been a long time listener, and I've been contemplating on sending my stories in. I assure you these experiences are not fabricated and are 100% true as I remember them. I'm a 33-year-old man. I would like to share a series of paranormal experiences I had when I was 16 or 17 that really jump-started my hobby in ghost hunting and paranormal investigating. Since I was a kid, I was always into the paranormal as far as I can remember. I even have faint memories of earlier paranormal experiences when I was around 10 years old, such as seeing the Hat Man. Never even heard of the Hat Man phenomena until in my late 20s, so it could have been my imagination. I have also heard scratching from beneath my bed, which my mother shrugged off by saying it was the cats. But it couldn't have been the cats, for the cats she was talking about were outside. The scratches came directly beneath my bed. But the experiences I want to share now happened when in my mid-teens and were truly profound, totally unexplainable, and some were even frightening. This post will be long, so be ready to read for like 15 minutes. I was about 16 or 17 years old, living in a small town called Caledonia in the province of Ontario, which is in Canada, and these paranormal experiences happened around 2004. I had a daughter at a very young age, so while I went to school, I also worked on the side in a small restaurant that mostly sold pizza and breakfast, and business was usually slow. It was located on Argyle Street, right across from a bank and 10 or 15 feet away from the famous Caledonia Bridge. If you were to be driving into town, coming from the city of Hamilton, it would be on the left side of the road before the bridge. Its exact address was 12 Argyle Street, North Caledonia, Ontario. I scored the job from my friend Graham, who I went to elementary school with when I was younger. His mother owned the place. When I first started working there, I didn't feel anything bad or thought it was haunted, although I got an eerie feeling in the basement. But what basement doesn't give off an eerie feeling in an old building? I didn't think much of it. I worked there for a week or two before I experienced anything. And I did work alone in the beginning. Later on, an older girl named Lindsay, who I think was about 19 or older, started working with me, and shortly after that, things started happening. As I said earlier, business was usually slow. I spent most of my shifts watching DVD movies alone, or with Lindsay in the dining area. Now, before I describe the paranormal experiences I had there, I want to describe the layout of the restaurant. It was as follows. Picture it from topographic view like blueprints. Picture a square. At the bottom centre of the square is the front entrance. The middle of the square is the dining area, all tables and chairs. At the top centre of the square is the entrance into the kitchen. Now picture the top right of the square is the entrance to a hallway that extends 12 feet or so. So to verify, if you understand the description, if one was to come out of the kitchen, the hallway would be on their left, and if one were to enter the front entrance, the hallway would be on their right if they were walking past the dining area. Looking down the hallway, it has total 4 doors. 2 doors on the left. First was a male bathroom with 1 toilet and sink, and a female bathroom a few feet down the hall, also 1 toilet and sink. 1 door at the end of the hallway, which was a janitor's closet, and then 1 door on the right, which is literally directly across, in front of the male bathroom, which is the entrance to the basement. So when one comes out of the male bathroom, first thing they see is the basement door, and they would have to turn right to get back to the dining area. Basement door has a small padlock on it, and one would see the inside of an apartment door or house door to keep strangers out. Lindsay and I talked a lot since business was slow, and it didn't take long until we both discovered we have similar interests in the paranormal. One day at work, she told me about her passion in ghost hunting, and how she captures unexplained anomalies, taking pictures and videos of alleged haunted locations, one of which was the Blue Ghost Tunnel in St. Catharines, 30 to 45 minute drive from Caledonia. This intrigued me because I heard about that place on a TV show called Creepy Canada. I asked her to show me these pictures and videos, and one day she did. On another day at work, I saw her many pictures of orbs of different colours and pics of white mist that she claimed wasn't smoke or condensation viewed on her laptop. But what intrigued me the most was the VHS tape that she played me on the TV in the middle of the day in the summer. Cannot see their breath as they talk. To their surprise, the entire entrance to the tunnel and the tunnel itself is filled with thick white fog or mist, seen kinda twirling. As they enter the tunnel, one can see it's cold in there because one can see breath as they talk in the middle of a hot summer day. Can't say it was 100% paranormal, but it was bizarre. This influenced me to go there myself, which I did many times in the day and night, and I never experienced or saw any thick fog or mist during the day or night as seen on a video. But I did experience the capture of paranormal activity, which I'll save for other stories, which I have photos and videos of, including the first class EVPs. The reason why I'm telling you all this is because shortly after her showing me this and talking long hours about ghosts in dining room is when paranormal activity started happening in the restaurant. And looking back at it now, I think talking about it triggered it. I don't know. Now onto the first experience. Lindsay and I were working together and I had to take a leak, so I told her I'd be right back. So I walked down the hall like I did many times before and I opened the male bathroom door on my left. I enter it, and as I enter, I go close to the door, observing the basement door directly in front of me, and it's closed and locked as usual. I close the door completely and turn to walk to the toilet 3 or 4 feet away from the door. Now I have my back turned to the door. I whip it out and start taking a leak. As I'm urinating, I hear the door open and become ajar behind me. I didn't know what to think because I thought it was Lindsay and was asking myself in millisecond thoughts, why would she do that if she knows I'm pissing? Maybe she wants to see my privates. Typical stupid thoughts of a teenage boy. I also thought maybe she's playing a joke. So I laughed at myself and finished my business and wanted to go to the dining room to ask her why she opened the door. So I proceed to walk towards the ajar door and I open it. To my surprise, I see the basement door is unlocked and wide open, and I can see down the stairs to the eerie basement. But it was closed not a few seconds ago, I say to myself. How didn't I hear the padlock unlock and the basement door open? I brush it off as Lindsay opened both doors, and maybe the stream of urine hitting the water distorted the noise. I quickly concluded and was certain Lindsay was playing a joke on me, because all of the intense ghost talks we've been having in the past couple of shifts. I calmly shut the basement door, locked the padlock, but I felt super uneasy. I proceed to walk to the dining area, and she's not there because she said she was going to make herself food. So I enter the kitchen door on my right after coming out of the hallway. I see her cooking herself something, and I ask her, "Did you open the bathroom door and basement door while I was using the restroom?" She replies kind of surprised, giggling, "No, why?" Then I got the biggest shivers down my neck, with fear coming over me, and I said, "Don't mess with me, Lindsay. Someone just turned the knob on the bathroom door while I was taking a leak and opened it a bit. And when I finished, I opened the door and the basement door in front of me was unlocked and wide open." She got a bit of fear in her facial expression and said, "No, I swear to God I was in the kitchen the whole time. Are you serious?" Asking me to verify that I'm not playing a joke on her. I felt like she was being sincere, but I was unsure of her sincerity. We both searched the restaurant and found nobody. But now as I'm typing this, I remember we never checked the basement. Nothing else happened for the rest of the shift. Both of us were left thinking one is messing with the other. My next shift, I was supposed to work alone. I told my boss about the experience, and I told her I think it's haunted and I refuse to work alone. I thought she'd think I was crazy, but to my surprise she believed me, and with a sigh she said she knows it's haunted and didn't force me to work alone, so stayed with me on my shift, and later set out my shifts so I'd have someone with me. Most of the time it was with Lindsay, who worked with me. Like 95% of the time it was her. As time passed over the course of a few weeks, the basement door started to unlock and open on its own almost at least once every shift, and most of the time it would be open while Lindsay and I were not in the same room. So I lost the fear, became conditioned to it, and even started to suspect that perhaps it was Lindsay playing a joke on me all along. This is until one day it happened to me while we were in the same room. We both saw the basement door locked and closed 100%. We were both doing work in the kitchen. As we both finished in the kitchen and want to go watch a movie in the dining area, we exit the kitchen, and to our surprise, the basement door is unlocked and wide open. We both look at each other with fear, but a bit of excitement as well, because experiencing paranormal activity gives one a high, a rush of adrenaline, and makes one question reality, especially after confirming that it was indeed with no real explanation. I'm sure you and our listeners who have a go at ghost hunting and paranormal investigating, who have experienced live in the moment, know the feeling that I'm talking about. We both know that no one else is in the restaurant, and both know 100% the door was closed and padlocked. She expressed to me that she thought I was messing with her the whole time, and I tell her I thought the same about her. We both know that this is real. This is actually happening. A ghost is actually toying with us. We shut and locked the basement door and act like nothing happened. This time, the ghost is something it hasn't done yet in the weeks prior. It opened the door again and again. We closed and locked it each time that night, but it kept opening the door. We decided to take pictures in the basement. We captured white, blue and red orbs. After we took pics, the activity stopped. As I remember, we finished our shift and closed the restaurant. Our next couple of shifts, it got scarier and more intense. Not like horror movies, but the activity actually started to increase and become somewhat aggressive. I don't remember how many shifts this transpired over, but I'll tell them the best I can in the summary below. One time the basement door kept opening and we kept shutting it, but it wouldn't stop opening it. Kinda scared us but annoyed us more. So one day I got courage after it opened the door, and I stood at the top of the basement stairs and said to the ghost, "Listen, you've made your presence known, and we know you're here. Can you please stop opening the door? It's scaring and annoying us." After I said that, I shut the door and locked the door. What happened next scared the crap out of me. I was in the dining area, looking down the hall at the basement door. I literally look away for maybe 2 or 3 seconds, look back and it's open. Send shivers on my arms typing it. How did that door open without me hearing it? Can they mute sound? Can they pause time? Surely I would have heard the padlock and the knob turn, but I didn't even though. I was only like 7 feet away from the door. Out of all the experiences, this was one of the most profound ones that made me want to scientifically research the paranormal. Not only did I not hear sounds, but I don't even think 2 or 3 seconds is enough time to unlock and open that door. How did that door open so quick without making any noise? And the fact that I asked it to stop and it didn't frightened Lindsay and I. Almost as if it said F you through its actions. Lindsay decided to talk to it at the top of the stairs and shut and lock the door. To our surprise, it stopped for the rest of the shift after she told it to stop. I theorised it was Mal and didn't like me, but it liked Lindsay because she's a girl. I don't know, I was trying to make sense of why it listened to her and not me. Another time we were both in the kitchen, and when we both came out, and as usual, basement door open. But this time I felt an angry presence. When I entered the hallway to close the door, I heard noises and noticed all 4 doors were open. The Malmfield my bathroom doors, the janitor's closet door, and basement door are open. Upon further investigation, the noises I hear are usually tap water running in the washrooms and janitor's closet, and all sinks have hot water running, creating condensation in the bathrooms and closet. I shut off and closed all the doors. I was scared as hell. Then what happened next was profound. Lindsay and I walked into the kitchen, and the big jug of olive oil was moved into the middle of the kitchen within seconds of us exiting and re-entering the kitchen. How without any sound? Now that I'm older, I do not get as spooked as easily. Or should I say, I still get spooked, but got a lot more courage now. I usually run towards the activity and not run away from it, hoping to catch my experiences on camera so I can share them with the world. But 17-year-old me was not having it. I quit working there because the activity was getting super intense. Too bad I didn't set up IR cameras in the room overnight at the time. A couple of weeks after I quit, I later heard from my boss, or former boss, that it escalated to ripping the cupboard door off. I didn't talk to Lindsay for many years. I'm talking about well over 10 years, and my experiences became distant memories. I often wondered if what I experienced was real or not. One year, actually not too long ago, found me on Facebook and confirmed all my distant memories are real. She remembered everything I did. The restaurant eventually went out of business, and the building was vacant for years. Today the building is owned by a company called Seguin Engineering. I emailed them and explained who I was, and that in the past I've experienced paranormal activity there, and asked if staff experienced anything, and if I could do a professional scientific paranormal investigation there. They replied that no paranormal activity, and I cannot investigate. I hope you enjoyed my true ghost stories. Have many more ghost stories. Some of them I can even supply photos, videos and ghosts for EVPs. Some of them I can even supply photos, videos and EVPs. I also have other interesting stories such as close encounters with UFOs. One story I call the brightening dimmer light entity, and stories of creepy people of me running into a cult practicing dark occult rituals in the forest by the Hermigate in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. Thanks for letting me share my story. I hope it gets to read on your channel. Sincerely, Frankie Goats. Hello everyone. This is the part of the video where there's no more stories. So if you're only here for the stories, then this is your cue to probably watch something else. I've got other stories on my channel, so if you're interested in more, then there's some more on my channel, quite a lot more, but if you're not, then no, there's loads of good channels, isn't there? So you probably watch one of them. Anyway, what am I going to talk about? Well, I don't know if I spoke about what happened last week to me, but not last week, a couple of weeks ago now. I really think you're where I start this. It's an omen, because it's going to be boring. Alright, so I was at the England versus Italy game. No, I wasn't at the actual game. I was watching the game. Sorry, in like this club that's been converted to like a screen, and you can book a table for it, sort of thing. So, booked the table. Was watching it. Yeah. England only gone to score. This is the England versus Italy final as well, Euro final. England haven't been in the final for about 60 years or something. So, big occasion, right? So I'm sitting there. Right, I've had a tequila. I don't like tequila, it's fucking horrible. But I thought I'll have something because I don't like these sort of situations anyway. So I thought, you know what? have something to make myself feel a little bit more calm. England only go and score in the first minute, don't they? Like, Luke Shaw, great volley back post. Anyway, I've jumped up to celebrate, haven't I? Some absolute bellend, as, like, I'm guessing it wasn't glass. It was like a full plastic bottle of something, I think WKD or something. Just launched it from about 5 foot away, smashed me in the back of the head with it. I felt the back of my head straight away, and I was thinking, because straight away I thought, that's not gonna be good. Felt it. There's a little tiny bit of blood on my finger, and I thought, all right, like, I can just go to the toilet and quickly, whatever. Put my hand on the back of my head again, and my hand was absolutely drenched in blood. And I thought, oh fuck. So I'm trying to hint to the people that I'm with, like, I'm bleeding quite a lot. They're still celebrating England's goal, and it takes me like 10 seconds to get their attention properly, like 10-15 seconds, and then they realise and they're like, oh shit. So they come and help me, put pressure on it and go and get tissue and stuff, but they're literally like cupping the blood in the back, coming out the back of my head. Like, it is heavily bleeding. And I was sitting there thinking, I didn't feel any like pain or anything. I was sitting there thinking, oh, this is so typical. I thought, my main thought was, I'm not going to be able to watch the first half now. Then one of the security guards came over, or the workers, and said, that's quite deep, And I thought, thanks, like, what are we going to do about this then? And so they took me into a medical room, and it was bleeding really, really bleeding heavy. Like, a lot of blood was coming out, and I still felt okay. She was panicking, the worker. She was only like my age. She was only like early 20s, and like, she was panicking. She was like, oh my god, that's quite deep. That's quite deep, And I was like, can you not try and panic me? But anyway, so the place that this was in is a notorious rough area anyway. Like, the area is known for being dodgy. So there's always, like, on like night out event sort of things, there's always ambulances around and sort of paramedics and police and whatever. So one of them came out to me, and actually with that, I actually felt really lightheaded. Like, I felt like I was going to pass out, and I was really embarrassed. I thought, oh, that's well embarrassing, isn't it? Like, imagine passing out in front of everyone because you've cut your head. But he said to me, the paramedic, it's because of some like vasovagal response or something to do with a nerve, and your blood pressure drops. So I thought, at least it's blood pressure that's caused it and not because of blood loss. But I'm guessing that didn't help. My fan just come on, if you can hear that. But yeah, so I've got quite a deep cut on my head. So basically, I thought he was going to need stitches, but luckily they put it together. I think it was steri strips or something they used, pretty tightly sealed, and it's healed now. So it's healing. It still hurts, to be honest with you. Like, it's been 2 weeks now, and if I press it, it's still sore, but it's healing. I've just got a scar on the back of my head now. But yeah, so that's happened. Then this bloody morning, I'm a fucking walking wound, I'm telling you. I was cutting some pita bread. I thought I really fancied, this is a weird one, I like salad, right? I thought it was salad, tuna and sweet corn, some pita bread. So, slicing of the pita bread. We've got new knives as well. Nice little slice. I'm not very careful. Slice through the top of my finger, haven't I, this morning? I'm still worried. Like, I'm recording this in an attempt to put off looking at my finger because it wouldn't stop bleeding. And when I looked at it, I could sort of like pull it open, like the skin. So, and it was like a flapped off. So like, that's really. So anyway, by the time this is uploaded, you'll know what happened to my finger. Or ask in the comments and I'll tell you, because I might forget. But as if you're interested. But yeah, so I'm worried about taking. I basically got I put loads of sellotape around my finger with like some tissue on top of it to keep it in place, like, to put pressure on it. So I've been putting pressure on it for like 30-40 minutes now, and it's just stopped bleeding. It was quite deep from the look of it, and I'm kind of worried to look at it again. I'm looking at my finger now, and the tissue is covered in blood, but it's not bleeding anymore, and it's fucking sore. So I'm kind of worried, but that's what I'm doing right now. I'm recording this to put myself off from looking at it. I'm like a walking wound at the moment. Ugh. I was going to go swimming later as well. I love going for a swim, like young salmon. I don't think I'll be doing that now because I'll probably start bleeding again and like a shark attack in the water. Imagine swimming along, blood trailing behind me. So I won't do that. But yeah, so that's my life at the moment. Anything else happened to me? Not really. What else can I talk about here? You guys tell me, what's the worst injury you've lot of had? Like, this isn't like obviously my worst injury, but like, what's the worst that you've ever had? Because sometimes you get something, don't you, and you think, oh, as soon as you do it, you think, oh, that's not good. Like, have you ever had that where as soon as you've done it, you think, shit, like that's not going to heal quickly, that's bad. I'd say the worst injury I've had is I'm quite lucky. I've not had anything ridiculous, but I was playing football before, and I've gone to volley the ball, and the defender's gone to clear the ball. The defender's missed the ball and smashed me in the ankle, and then I've come down. I think that fractured my ankle. And then as I've come down, I've landed on the top of my toe and twisted as I've fallen down. So I tore the ligament in my ankle as well. And I didn't realise it was bad. And I went to get up, and then like the goalkeeper ran over to me and told me not to get up. And I had to go. I swole up like a balloon, honestly. And do you know what? This is a bit annoying. Like, I'm thinking my ankle's like a balloon, right? Like proper swollen. And this is a weird one as well. I've got strange looking toes. Like after my big toe, my two toes after that are longer. They look like ET's fingers, and like they just look weird. They're long and skinny, and as soon as I did it, like I took my boot off, took my sock off, and it was proper swollen up. And I thought, and then someone went up to me and he's like, "What's wrong with your feet? What's wrong with your toes?" And I thought, that's a bit annoying, isn't it? That's just a bit annoying, isn't it? I mean, in my moment of need, agony and pain, I won't go that far, but it was hurting, and someone questioned about why I've got weird toes. But yeah, so what's your worst injury you've had? And this is all yours gonna be so much worse than mine as well. You're gonna be like, I got impaled by a spike or something, and I'm gonna like a right knob. But who keeps messaging me? Oh shit! I dropped my phone. Alright, it's not important right now. Anyway, I actually haven't recorded the stories for this episode yet, so this is what I'm doing first. I'm probably not going to record today, if I'm honest. I'm going to record probably in the next couple of days. I realise YouTube only wants to push videos if you upload like fucking 2-3 hour long ones, so I'm not doing that. You can stick it right up their arse, YouTube, can't they? I'm not doing a 2-hour video. I'm happy doing 40 minutes, like 40 minutes in length for the total video. 20 minutes of stories, 20 minutes of talking. Like, I like that, but I'm not doing 2 hours every single time. Like, for a compilation, obviously, because those are my favourite stories that I put into them, and like, I do like putting out compilations, but I'm not putting out a 2-hour video every single time just because YouTube wants you to have like 1 million hours of watch time. You can stick it right up their arse. I don't care. I don't care about the views. Well, to an extent, I suppose. I'm happy if I get like a few thousand. That's like the ideal for me. I've said this before, haven't I? I think about 3,000-4,000 views is like the ideal amount on YouTube. Any more, it's a bit shit. I'm quite happy with 3,000-4,000. If I could get 3,000-4,000 views forever on YouTube, I'd love that. That's the ideal for me. As long as you lot stick around, I'll continue to do this and just waffle on at the end of videos, and like, do you lot like this bit at the end of the video? Like, could you let me know if this is actually like something that you enjoy? Because I can't tell. Like, some of you seem to really like it, but no one's actually said they don't like it. But I want to know if people think it's too long, if it's, whatever, not long enough. I feel like it's too long, if anything, but I just like talking, to be honest. I don't know if many other channels actually talk to you guys at the end of videos. I don't watch other horror channels, so I don't actually know what they do. I haven't got a clue, if I'm honest. But yeah, I've been donating still to the charity, that Headway charity, and yeah, so I'm still doing that. So I'm keeping up with my donations for that. I've done about £40-50 so far, so I'm just going to keep doing it. That makes me quite happy to do that. And yeah, I want to do like a charity run, but I might do one in the winter because it's just too hot at the minute. Like, I want to do one of them like 10k charity runs, but it is just so hot at the minute. And I want to practice for it, and it's just too hot to practice like train running for me. Like, I normally like running at night in the winter because it's just cold, like really cold. But at the minute it's just hot constantly and humid and muggy, and makes you all sweaty and horrible. So I will do that, but probably towards the end of summer. Obviously it's still middle of summer right now, isn't it? What else can we go on about them? I actually don't know. I need to get out today. I've got a day off from doing stuff, so I need to, start doing some stuff. Like, I've been drawing. I've been trying to practice drawing, and I really enjoy it. I actually haven't drawn since school, and I didn't realise I'm actually quite good. Like, I knew I was good in school, but I haven't drawn since I was about 13 or 14. But I really like it. I've been drawing, like, trying to do like realistic stuff, which is always my weak point. But they're coming out okay. Not exceptional, but they're not like proper wank. Like, they're not terrible. But yeah, it's really hot at the moment in England. We don't seem to have that middle ground weather where like it's either absolutely boiling like now, or it's pissing down with rain and freezing cold. We don't have that middle ground, that nice middle ground. I'd say 90% of the time it's cold, then 10% is too hot, and it's really annoying because I just want it to be like in the middle. Do you like when it's cools down towards the end of the day? That's the sort of temperature I want. We can walk around with just a shirt on, not just a shirt, walk around start bollock naked. I mean, like, and shorts or whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah. What else can I talk about? Do you know what's weird? My channel name. It is proper crap, innit? It is shite, my channel name. That creepypasta guy. Proper shite. I should have chose something better. I don't know why I chose that. There's so many cooler names out there that I could have picked, but I'm not changing it now. There's no point. Like, I think almost every channel name's better than my channel name. But I don't even do creepypasta, so why is it called? I'm stupid. But I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how long this has been going on for now. I mean, most of you are probably tuned out by now. But what are you up to with your summer at the minute? Do you know what I want to do? I want to go to a water park. I like them sort of things. I think they're really fun. But you get them like, I've been to something like Spain, but they never feel safe. It always feels like you're gonna like fall off or something. Like, you always feel like, don't people like have bad accidents with their neck and stuff in them sort of places? Do you know what? I'm looking at my finger now and I'm waffling. I am putting off doing this with my finger. I'm gonna take it off. 1 second. All right. You can have that live. I'm scared it's gonna start bleeding again. Oh fuck! I put so much sellotape on it. I've kind of wrapped it around in a weird position. It looks like Darth Vader's helmet. All right. Off we go. Come on. I'm trying to hold my mic up as well because it's balancing on my lap. Alright, that's alright, like that. Cool. Let's see. Oh, it's quite a big oh shit. Oh fuck, that is quite... Oh shit. Oh fuck. How deep is that? Oh shit. Oh fuck. That's bad. Oh shit. Right, I'm gonna have to do something about that. Oh fuck. That's gone like... I hope that's not to the bone. Oh fuck, don't start bleeding again. You fucking dare start bleeding again. Right, that is quite bad. It's like from the tip of my nail. Looks like my nail actually stopped it from going further. So like the middle of my... like as your finger curves round to the other side. And it's really deep. Oh shit. That's really bad. Alright, I'm gonna have to go. Alright, anyway. Alright, that's a bit worrying. Oh shit. Oh, fuck, I dropped my mic again. Alright, I'm gonna go, guys. Try and get this sorted. I don't know what to do. I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know whether to go to A&E if it needs... Do they put stitches in your finger? I don't even know. Or do I go to just put like stereo strips in it? I've got a couple left from when I hit my head. Some through tank on my head. Yeah, that's really not great. Alright. I'm going to speak to you guys later. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the finale of this video. Bye.